The Voldarians were, without a doubt, the most insufferably smug species in the known galaxy. With 3 hearts, telepathic abilities, and lifespans of 700 years, they had plenty of time to perfect their superiority complex. Their home world, Voldaria Prime, was a testament to their technological prowess: floating cities, particle drives, and cuisine that literally read your mind before you knew you were hungry. Another species catalogued, another inferior life form, sighed Chief Scientist Kraxon as he waved his upper appendage dismissively at the holographic display. His scales shimmered with boredom as he scrolled through the data. Honestly, these exploration missions are becoming a waste of my considerable talents. His assistant, Plex, nodded enthusiastically. Yes, sir. Your talents are wasted on these primitive— wait, what's this? Kraxon's eyes, all 6 of them, snapped to attention. The display showed a small blue planet in a rather unremarkable solar system. Earth? Never heard of it. Our sensors detected unusual electromagnetic signatures. They have technology. Plex sounded genuinely surprised. Primitive technology, no doubt, Kraxon snorted, but leaned forward anyway. Let's see. Oh. They call themselves humans. Only 2 arms? How do they manage anything complex? And look, 1 brain. Ha! We have 3 cerebral nodes. But as Kraxon dug deeper into the data, his smug expression faltered. They're spreading throughout their system at an alarming rate. Their technological development curve is concerning. The Voldarian High Command wasted no time authorizing a stealth probe. Scan their biology, Admiral Zoer commanded. Find their weaknesses. Every species has them. 3 lunar cycles later, the probe returned. Kraxon nearly choked on his mind-reading meal when the results came in. This can't be right, he muttered, running the analysis again. Their DNA contains resilience patterns I've never seen. They adapt to toxins. They survive radiation. They heal from injuries that would kill a Voldarian. And their brains, despite being singular, form neural pathways at astonishing rates. Plex peered over his shoulder. Sir, are you saying they're superior? Never. Kraxon hissed. Just unexpectedly complex. We need more time to study them. Admiral Zoer laughed when Kraxon presented his findings. 1 primitive planet with primitive beings who haven't even colonized their nearby worlds? And you want more resources to study them? Admiral, respectfully, these humans might pose a genuine threat. They're adaptable in ways we've never encountered. Bah! 1 ship, Kraxon. That's all we need to show these humans their place in the galaxy. Your concerns are noted, but unnecessary. Zoer's dismissive wave felt final. Kraxon's scales darkened with worry. I hope you're right, Admiral. For all our sakes. Hashtag only 1 ship? They scanned human DNA for weakness. And found weapons hashtag part 2. The Voldarian battleship, Inevitable Conquest, dropped out of hyperspace with all the subtlety of a drunk elephant at a formal dinner party. Its massive hull gleamed against Earth's atmosphere, specially polished to intimidate the primitives below. Captain Milo strutted across the command deck, his decorative head crest fully extended to display his authority. Look at that pathetic planet. Not even a proper defense grid. This will be the easiest conquest in Voldarian history. His second-in-command, Lieutenant Grek, nodded enthusiastically. The Admiral was right to send just 1 ship, sir. Deploying our entire fleet would have been overkill. Begin the standard intimidation protocol, Milo ordered, settling into his command chair with a self-satisfied smirk. Let's see how quickly they surrender when faced with superior beings. The communications officer opened a channel to Earth. Within moments, a human face appeared on the main screen. She had dark skin, silver-streaked hair, and an expression that could only be described as mildly amused. "This is Eliza Winters, Earth Defense Coordinator. Welcome to our solar system. How can we help you today?" Milo blinked all 6 eyes in confusion. Where was the panic? The terror? He cleared his throat and stood taller. "Primitive beings of Earth. I am Captain Milo of the mighty Voldarian Empire. Your planet is now under our protection and control. Submit to our authority immediately or face annihilation." A moment of silence followed. Then Eliza Winters did something utterly unexpected. She laughed. "Oh my! Is it intergalactic dramatic monologue day already? I forgot to mark my calendar." Milo's scales flushed purple with rage. "You dare mock the Voldarian Empire? We have conquered 17 worlds. Only 17? That's cute. We were hoping for visitors with more experience." Eliza sipped from a mug, completely unfazed. "Would you like to try again with a more neighborly greeting?" "Enough." Milo sputtered. "Fire a warning shot. Target their largest military installation." Lieutenant Grek hesitated. "Sir, the human doesn't seem concerned. Fire." The inevitable conquest's main cannon charged and released a devastating plasma bolt toward Earth. What happened next made every Voldarian on the bridge freeze in horror. The plasma bolt struck what appeared to be an invisible shield and dissipated harmlessly, creating a brief, beautiful aurora in Earth's upper atmosphere. "Thanks for the light show," Eliza said, still smiling. "Our atmospheric refractors could use the energy boost. Now, shall we discuss why you're really here, or would you prefer another demonstration of your impressive weaponry?" Captain Milo collapsed back into his chair, mandibles agape. "Impossible," he whispered. Eliza leaned forward. "Captain, perhaps you'd like to know what our scans reveal about your ship's vulnerable spots? We've been analyzing while you were introducing yourselves. Hashtag only one ship? They scanned human DNA for weakness. And found weapons hashtag part 3, Captain Milo, perhaps you'd like to see what we've been working on while you were busy planning your conquest," Eliza said, tapping something off-screen. The main view screen split to show multiple feeds of Voldarian space, including their home planet. That's impossible." Lieutenant Grek gasped. "Those are live feeds of Voldaria Prime. How did you get these?" Eliza's smile widened. "Oh, we've had observation posts in your system for about 15 of your cycles now. Cute little moon bases you have, by the way. The security is charmingly outdated." Kraxon, who had insisted on joining the mission as scientific advisor despite Admiral Zoer's objections, stepped forward. "You've been watching us? But our sensors detected no alien presence." "We didn't want to be detected," Eliza shrugged. "Now, shall we continue this conversation in person? I find face-to-face meetings so much more productive." Captain Milo's terror finally overwhelmed his arrogance. "Retreat. Full power to engines. Get us out of this system now." The inevitable conquest lurched as the engines fired. For a blissful moment, Milo thought they might escape. Then the ship shuddered to a complete stop. "What is happening?" Milo shrieked, his decorative head crest deflating in fear. The tactical officer's voice trembled. "Sir, we're surrounded by. I don't know what these are. They look like tiny ships, thousands of them, forming some kind of energy web around us." The view screen showed swarms of small, agile human craft. They weren't much bigger than Voldarian shuttle pods, but they moved with astonishing coordination, weaving an intricate pattern around the battleship. "Nanite-controlled drone swarm," Eliza explained cheerfully. "Much more efficient than building massive warships. Don't worry, they won't harm your vessel unless you try something foolish. Now, I'm approaching your docking bay with a small diplomatic team. I suggest you welcome us properly." 20 minutes later, Eliza Winters strode confidently onto the Voldarian command deck with just 3 human companions. They wore no weapons, only simple blue uniforms with a patch showing Earth surrounded by stars. Kraxen stared at them, his scientific mind racing. These humans moved with unexpected grace in the higher gravity of the Voldarian ship. Their breathing seemed unaffected by the different atmospheric composition. They showed no signs of discomfort under the bright lights optimized for Voldarian vision. Fascinating, he muttered, scanning them with his personal device. The DNA analyses we performed. They missed something crucial. Eliza turned to him with those unervingly perceptive eyes. Chief Scientist Kraxen, I presume? I've read your papers on xenobiology. Brilliant work, though somewhat limited in scope. Kraxen's scales fluttered in surprise. You know my work? Of course, Eliza replied. We make a point of understanding those we might need to engage with. Would you like to know what your DNA scans missed about us? #only one ship? They scanned human DNA for weakness. And found weapons #Part 4, your scans were looking for weaknesses, Eliza explained, as the Voldarian command crew listened in stunned silence. But what you interpreted as weaknesses are actually our greatest strengths. Human DNA doesn't just exist, it adapts, evolves, and transforms. Those resilience markers you detected? They're not defensive measures. They're weapons. Kraxen's scientific curiosity overcame his fear. Weapons? How? Every environmental challenge we've faced has been incorporated into our genetic makeup. Radiation, disease, toxins, they've all made us stronger. Eliza's eyes sparkled with amusement. What doesn't kill us literally makes us stronger, and we've been not killed by a lot of things. Captain Milo, still trying to salvage his dignity, scoffed. Even if that's true, you're still just one primitive planet. The Voldarian Empire spans 17 worlds. About that, Eliza said, nodding to one of her companions who activated a holographic display. Earth isn't alone. We've peacefully integrated with 12 other species across 27 star systems. The hologram showed an alliance of worlds spanning a significant portion of the galaxy. Worlds that, Kraxen realized with growing horror, completely surrounded Voldarian space. We call it the Terran Cooperative, Eliza continued. No conquests, just mutually beneficial relationships. Each species contributes their unique strengths. The Naxians provide FTL technology, the Brel are unmatched in medicine, and so on. And what do humans provide? Kraxen asked, genuinely curious now. Adaptability, innovation, and really good coffee, Eliza winked. Plus, we throw excellent parties. 3 hours later, in the ship's dining hall, a surreal scene unfolded. Human diplomats chatted amicably with bewildered Voldarians over plates of food from both worlds. Captain Milo sat in a corner, drinking something humans called whiskey and muttering about retirement. Kraxen found himself seated beside Eliza, their conversation having evolved from tense interrogation to scientific exchange. I still don't understand. If you knew about us all along, why wait for us to approach you? We have a policy of non-interference with developing civilizations, Eliza explained, sipping her wine. We wanted you to reach out when you were ready. Ready to be humiliated, you mean, Kraxen said with surprising humor. Ready to learn that the galaxy works better with cooperation than conquest, Eliza corrected. Admiral Zoer might not embrace that idea, but scientists like you? You understand the value of sharing knowledge. Kraxen nodded slowly. How long have you really been watching us? Eliza's smile turned mischievous. Remember that natural phenomenon your astronomers documented 30 years ago? The unusual radiation burst near your outer moon? That was you? Our first observation post, she confirmed. We've been preparing for this meeting for decades. The real question is, Are you ready for what comes next? Kraxon looked around at the improbable gathering, ancient enemies becoming tentative friends, and realized that perhaps having only one ship had been the Voldarians' greatest stroke of luck. I believe, he said, raising his glass, that we just might be